What's up, everybody? It is, by the time you're watching this, Friday, November 6th, and this is the 5th episode of the 11th Hour Gaming Channel, and I am AJ Gels. How's it going, everybody? Let's see here, little housekeeping. If you're new to the channel, what I do every week, I try and wrap up gaming news, at least for the past 5 weeks, every Friday, right here on the 11th Hour Gaming Channel. If you like this video, please like, subscribe to the channel. Find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter, check out my website for reviews. All of that is down in the description below. And speaking of my reviews, my review of Assassin's Creed Syndicate just went up, yesterday, last night. I believe my score was an 8. I wanted to give it a 9. My opinion, gameplay-wise, was really strong, really fun to play. The story felt lacking a bit. I mean, it wasn't a bad story by any means. It was a little cliched and a little, I believe I call it superficial. It felt very, there wasn't a lot of depth to it, but it was still a very fun story, entertaining. The characters were really cool. It felt a lot more focused than the previous games have. Like, one of my big things with 4 was, like, the story just kept, it kept feeling like it was going along and then just, like, went into a bunch of just rabbit holes for no reason. So, but Syndicate felt very focused, really fun. Gameplay-wise, it was just, it was so good. A really big step up from Unity. I'm really interested to see where that franchise is going to go. I think it's breathing new life into the franchise, and all that. Also, in what's coming up for this channel, I guess by the time you're watching this, which is Friday, I will have all the hardware and all the stuff I need to start doing Let's Plays, so that there should be occurring frequently on this channel. My first series is going to be Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which, I also forgot to mention, I'm so close to the Platinum. I just have another, I think about 7-8 trophies left. But Assassin's Creed Syndicate is going to be kind of my test series, kind of working up, and I should, if I work quickly, be able to have that done by this upcoming Tuesday, where I will be starting Fallout 4. I also may or may not, I'm leaning towards, I probably will do a Let's Play of the upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Oh, come on, what else is coming out in the upcoming months? I really want to do the new Tomb Raider game. It just depends on when I get my Xbox One. Currently, I only have a PS4, along with a 360 and some last-gen stuff. But, Assassin's Creed will start this weekend and should be done by next Tuesday, which I will start Fallout 4. Expect in December, definitely Just Cause 3. I should have a Let's Play up, and yeah, I think that's everything. I think the only 2 big games this year that I'm probably not going to play, or like the leading up to, that definitely won't appear on the channel, are Star Wars Battlefront and Rainbow Siege. I just think it would be a little difficult to do those multiplayer-only shooters compared to these story-based games. I think that's all of the housekeeping I have. I know PlayStation Experience is coming up, and Paris Games Week just ended last week. And, well, I guess I'm terrible at segues, if you've seen some of my other episodes. But I try and start with a little bit of tech news. There's not much tech news, except for this... come on, brain. Sony, last week I talked about, apparently Sony had said that they had stopped first-party production for the PS Vita. Now, a little bit of backpedaling. Apparently, this isn't entirely true. Quote from Shuhei Yoshida from Paris Games Week. He told GameSpot, and if you don't know who Shuhei Yoshida is, he's president of Sony Entertainment, PlayStation. He's probably one of the guys you see in a lot of the Sony press conferences. Really funny dude. If you follow him on Twitter, really funny dude. But Shuhei told GameSpot at Paris Games Week, I've been pretty honest saying our focus has shifted to PS4 and PlayStation VR. It's not like we don't have any development at all. Either this was mistaken by some people, or I'm not exactly sure how to how to phrase that, but it turns out that first-party development for the PlayStation Vita has not entirely stopped, but it is really slowed down in most focus. First-party, at least for Sony, has been switched to the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation VR, though plenty of third-party developers and indie games are slotted to come out for the Vita, which is really interesting. I think that's a very good handheld system, especially with Fallout 4 coming out. I know it's being optimized, so you can use the Vita's remote play function with your in conjunction with the PS4. Also in PlayStation news, PlayStation Now, and if you don't know what that is, it's the Sony cloud-based game streaming service. Really interesting thing. Has on Tuesday received 105 new titles, bringing the total number of titles to 250 that can be accessed through PlayStation Now. In this recent acquisition, 21 Capcom games have been uploaded. These include games from Resident Evil, Street Fighter, and Mega Man franchises. PlayStation Plus subscribers, and if you are not a subscriber to PlayStation Plus, do it. Fantastic. Allows you to play online. There's free indie games or a couple free games every month for PlayStation. Fantastic service. I know Games with Gold, similar thing over on the Xbox Marketplace. But PlayStation subscribers, PS Plus subscribers, I apologize, can download The Walking Dead Season 2 for free this month, and also on the PS4, Magicka 2 is available, and on the PS3, Mass Effect 2 and Ubisoft enhanced port of Beyond Good and Evil. It makes me a little sad though, because I don't know, I really want to see the Mass Effect trilogy come to next gen from last gen. There was something I talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago, with EA saying they had no interest in in a remaster, or in remasters, but they also kept changing the verbiage with remastered, remake. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But with Mass Effect Andromeda, I want to say that one was for late next year. I could be totally off. I could be pulling that out of my ass. Hell if I know. But with Mass Effect Andromeda being announced, I would not be surprised to see a Mass Effect remastered trilogy come out for next gen. What is it? Along the lines with the Ubisoft enhanced port of Beyond Good and Evil, Ubisoft has just announced though that the PS4 has the most number of games sold, I'm going to start this story over. The Ubisoft games have been selling fantastically on the PS4, with about the total number of games that they're selling, 27% of the games have been on PS4, and with PC in a close second with 20%. I also, along with this, I noticed an interesting article on Gamma Sutra. If you haven't seen, follow them on Twitter. You get a lot of nice little quick news updates throughout the week. Really interesting site. Have some really interesting news. They've been saying that Ubisoft sales have been down due to the lack of tentpole series, and the tentpole series being Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six. We know The Division, which is delayed, I think, until March of next year. Which, I mean, I guess this is really good for Ubisoft that in this next couple bit, and I think from now to February, they just had Syndicate launch, which has been doing really well. I do know though that the sales currently they've been okay. They haven't been great, but they haven't been bad. But that's not surprising. Assassin's Creed 4 did the same thing, and both of them followed what people consider to be subpar games of the franchise. 4 following 3, Syndicate following Unity. I think 4 took about 2 years for its sales to be really good, but still, I expect Syndicate to do really well. Far Cry Primal coming in February 23rd of next year. Looks really interesting with the caveman setting, and I know that Rainbow Siege is out in December. Yeah, December. Sorry, hair on my glasses. And along with the new MMO RPG, these MMOs that are appearing on console, like Destiny, Everything's looking interesting. I'm expecting Ubisoft to be perfectly fine. Just having a little bit of a dry spell right now. Only time will tell with that, though. So, excuse me. Let's see here. PlayStation Group Marketing Manager Lauren Bradley says that the first-person shooter audience is apparently shifting towards the PlayStation 4 this generation. Last gen, it was typically the Xbox 360 had the shooter crowd. And I believe PlayStation is doing a really good job to kind of facilitate this with, obviously, with DICE's Star Wars Battlefront being an exclusive coming out November 17th is the date of that, and obviously Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which actually comes out today if you're watching, because this video will be up on Friday, will be out on November 6th. It has been heavily aligned with the PlayStation 4. Also, if you have pre-ordered Black Ops 3 on Xbox One before October 7th, check to make sure that you have the right download file. Sorry, I just ate before doing this video. Sorry. Activision is warning that some users may have what they're calling a stub file, which is essentially a placeholder in your hard drive for when the game comes out and will be downloaded. If you make sure to check your file. If your file is less than 40 gigabytes, delete and reinstall the file. I'm sorry, I'm not being very articulate right now. If you downloaded the pre-order after October 7th, you're perfectly fine. You're ready for all the updates and everything. Once the game comes out digitally, you'll be perfectly fine. But if you're having issues, please just delete and reinstall the file. Everything will should work perfectly fine. And obviously, like I said, the game is out November 6th, the day you are watching this video. And on November 9th, Xbox will apparently be announcing 100 list of Xbox 360 games that will be backwards compatible with the new line of Xbox Ones. I believe it's a hardware change, not a software change. So I have that to look forward to. Really interests me because I'm getting an Xbox One soon. And a lot of people have been talking, this whole thing with the backwards compatibility that, oh, well, it's just something, I believe it was, I can't remember where I read this quote. It was, said, it's something, I think it was actually in an article with EA when they were saying that they weren't interested in remastering, it's like backwards compatibility is something you say, oh, well, Mom, it's, we can buy this and I can play all these old games. I disagree saying that, oh, you're just going to shove those games into the drawer after you're done because nobody's going to play them. I'm like, I like going back and playing them on the new console. It's just easier than having to unplug everything and plug in a new console. So, it is what it is. But backwards compatibility for the 360 really interests me. Moving on. The new Nintendo CEO, Tatsumi Kimishima, if you hadn't known, what was his name? I feel so bad for forgetting that. The former CEO of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, passed away of, I believe, it was bile duct cancer in July. Yeah, in July. I'm sorry. He passed away very suddenly in July after battling with his illness. Thoughts with the family, all that. Rest in peace, Iwata. Fantastic guy. He was with Nintendo for a lot of their best products. Very well known guy, very well known man in the industry. I always loved watching him do like press conferences and I want to say it was like the Nintendo experience, the videos where, he's like out and he's out front, very smiling, always laughing, really cool guy, which is almost the exact opposite of Mr. Kimishima, who every picture I see of him, he looks angry, which, nothing against Tatsumi Kimishima, he's a businessman, I respect him, I think he's going to do fantastic things with Nintendo, and I got way off track with that, and I'm very sorry. But Kimishima says he sees potential for the biggest sales ever in the next 3 years for Nintendo, and I think this is great for Nintendo. Me personally, not a Nintendo guy, But I don't want. I think they have their audience, and I don't want Nintendo to kind of go by the wayside. I'm really glad to hear about this. His thoughts for this, he actually believes that mobile and the new Nintendo NX, really interested to see what that's going to do. But he believes that these will actually top DS and Wii sales in the upcoming years. Really interested to see how that works within Nintendo and to see if Nintendo can kind of push into the big duel between PlayStation and Xbox. Well, again, only time will tell with that. We'll see what's coming out. Warner Brothers has announced that they are offering a refund to anybody playing Arkham or Batman Arkham Knight, Rocksteady's final game into the Arkham franchise. For any PC players, if you haven't heard, the PC version of Arkham Knight is, after being re-released, I believe last week on Steam, is still suffering a lot of issues, some problems. So no matter when you bought and played the game, as long as you ask for this refund before the end of 2015, you can be offered a refund by Warner Brothers Entertainment. Sorry, frog in my throat. Evolve, the big team-based multiplayer team-based shooter, where really interesting concept. If you never played it, interesting concept. Not for me, but I do. I'm not big into these big multiplayer shooters, but really I'll play Call of Duty every now and then, but really interesting thing. One person plays a monster while 4 people play the hunters and try and kill it, and they work together. Really interesting game. The 5th monster for the game has been announced, the Gorgon, and that is that came out November 3rd. According, I'm trying to think. The powers include traversal. I can't read. I apologize. Traversal web slinging is the main way of mobility for the monster, along with it can snare hunters in webs, and also has an acid spit ability that fires a, and I quote, bright green player-controlled version of itself that will eventually detonate to cause massive damage on enemy players, and can also release a spider-like creature from her abdomen. This DLC it does cost $10, which I find to be ridiculously high for what it is. I think out of anything, that's the one thing I really don't understand about Evolve, is how it's done its DLC and its monster packs. They've been selling them, I think, about $10 each. That just seems obnoxiously high for what it is and for the amount of content. Again, who knows? If you enjoy Evolve and the content, please talk to me in the comments below, or if you have anything to say about any of the topics I talk about today, please let me know in the comments below. Or if you want to see something change in the show, if you want to see this something, please comment below. Tell me. I will do my best to change and accommodate your thoughts. Or just let me know what you think of this channel. Please, comments are always welcomed. Sorry. Call of Duty is apparently doing something that doing a really interesting kind of marketing campaign in Australia, of all places. Apparently, Call of Duty's Black Ops Pale Ale is being released in Australia, leading up to the release, which is, again, tomorrow. This is really interesting. Not the first game, though, that I've seen to do this. Obviously, with the Fallout beer being... I talked about this last week, and I really wish I could get that here in America, with Fallout beer being produced in the UK. I almost said England. Sorry about that. Let me think here. I'm almost a little sad, though. I listen to Podcasts Unlocked, Podcast Beyond, a bunch of gaming podcasts, especially those of IGN. But Ryan McCaffrey of IGN on a Podcast Unlocked once said, I believe when they announced, I think like a mini fridge for Call of Duty, that it would come with a specialty, like a specialty brew called Call of Broody, and that's a really bad pun that I really, really wish would have happened. Oh well, moving on. Konami, you know, the big Konami, the people behind, you know, such classic games, you know, like Castlevania and Metal Gear. Sorry. Sorry about that. Konami, the people behind the big, at least two big known franchises that I know, Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid, has just announced that Metal Gear Solid 5 has officially sold 5 million copies, and this is also including digital release. That's a pretty good number, seeing the game came out in September, and it's been only a couple months. 5 million copies is a lot. If you haven't gone and played the game, really good. I think I got part way through it. I only rented. I didn't have the cash at the time to buy it. But yeah, really good game. Fantastically done by Hideo Kojima, and which makes me a little sad to make this kind of announcement, though, that Konami has announced that it is closing, Konami Los Angeles, which was previously known as Kojima Productions Los Angeles. If you haven't been following this, there's been a big falling out between Hideo Kojima, who is the creator of the franchises that we, Silent Hills and Metal Gear Solid, a while back. The creative kind of collaboration between Kojima and Guillermo del Toro for Silent Hills was officially canceled. Kojima was leaving Konami. There's been this big thing, you know, it's like, well, he's been fired. Well, he hasn't. No, he hasn't been fired. He's this. I think at one point, it was early October. I think October 9th was his final day. You know, they had his going away party. You know, he's leaving the company. He finished up with his non-compete clause in his contract. That's the word I was looking for, not non-disclosure. Although Konami was also saying, no, he's not leaving, he's going on extended vacation, and I don't know, it's been one big, giant mess after another. Really interested to see what Kojima's going to go do. He's probably going to, I love what Kojima does. He's probably going to go and do something really weird, and I can't wait to see what it is. Though I have been hearing around, though, that, you know, it's like, what studio is going to want to come and pick him up. And somebody, like in a weird offhanded, somebody said maybe Ubisoft would pick up Kojima. I want to say that was I believe that was in P.S. I Love You XOXO by Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty over at Kind of Funny Games. I think they said offhand that, you know, talking about Western developers picking up Kojima, and that's really interesting. I'd really love to see an Assassin's Creed game done with Kojima and have that just giant weird mess. Love every second of it. But apparently Konami has announced, though, that they are currently in the planning stages of their next large-scale Metal Gear Solid game, which I already have a strong feeling that thing is going to tank. I don't think it's Metal Gear without Kojima, and I'm interested to see what Konami's going to do, but I do not have super high expectations of that. Moving on into online MMO news, World of Warcraft subscribers the number of World of Warcraft subscribers have fallen to about 5.5 million. This is down 100,000 subscribers from the past 3 months. While on the other hand, Destiny their subscribers have now just reached 25 million, and that is, this is players, not subscribers. But this is up 5 million in the past 3 months. I know maybe people are just leaving World of Warcraft to go play Destiny. Two really good games. I've played at least to the end of Destiny's campaign. I've really kind of gotten out of Destiny, but it's still going strong. The Taken King's doing really well. I believe it's still right now in one of the top 10 games. NPO, I believe it is. It's still one of the top games being sold Fantastic. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Apparently, fantasy MMO Terra is to be released on iOS and Android in 2016. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm checking my notes here. Halo 5, or Halo 5 Guardian, sorry, I just called by the number, has apparently seen the biggest launch in franchise history. The game has grossed $400 million worldwide and brought the lifetime earnings of the franchise to be over $5 billion. Apparently, it was the most played game on its release week. Really good things from Halo. Really interested to see. I'm really liking what 343 has been doing with the franchise. Super interested to see what Halo 6 is going to be like. Let's see here. Paragon from the Gears of War developer Epic Games, the brand new shooter. Don't know a whole heck of a lot about it. I know they're announcing some characters and whatnot, but the beta sign-up is currently open. Go check that out if you have any interest. Nintendo is apparently reporting that they will be censoring Xenoblade Chronicles, I believe it's X or 10, and I don't know. I have the same problem with when Mortal Kombat came out. You know, is it Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 10? Either way, I'm not gonna get bogged down in the weeds on that one. But Xenoblade Chronicles X is going to be censored in the West. This is from might mess this handle up. Teigaki via NeoGaf reported on Twitter that reports that Lynn's costume will be censored for Western release, and apparently the character's age will also be 15 in the Western edition as opposed to 13 in the Japanese edition. Along with that, there were the pictures, you know, like what the Japanese version is, what the Western version. I get why it's being censored. I mean, Japan's. I've played a lot of JRPGs. I don't think it's. I mean, it's a little more risque than I've seen, but still, I'm not saying anything about the culture or anything. I'm just saying I've seen some weird stuff out of JRPGs. You know, culture shock, all that. Let's see here. Riot Games has announced big changes coming to League of Legends for the 2016 season. Honestly, I could be sitting here for about another 40 minutes and talking about all these different changes. To get the full list, please go to IGN.com. Really interesting to see what's going to go on with League. I've kind of stepped back my playing of that. I really do want to go back, play some more matches. A lot of fun. Free to play if you haven't done it. Really fun. Let's see here. Battleborn, originally announced for February 9th, 2016, has now been pushed back to May 3rd of 2016. I believe it was at Paris Games Week. It was announced that the I believe open beta for Battleborn will be coming to the PlayStation 4 before any other console. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 has an official release date for February 23rd for 2016 for North America and February 25th for Europe. This is really interesting. What game was it? I believe it was Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I believe got pushed back from the February 23rd date into somewhere in March. Which is originally I was thinking great, because that means then all I have to play is Far Cry Primal and the new Deus Ex. Fantastic, 2 games really looking forward to, and now here's another game coming out February 23rd. Really interesting to see what's with everything coming out that day. Is a really it really does seem though that February and the first quarter of the year is becoming just as saturated as the fall months. Really just interested to see how that trend is going to continue, especially after this year where we saw, I'm going to call it a sleeper hit. You know, I thought it was really good out of Dying Light and Bloodborne. Really interested to see what's going to happen with that. And for the years, apparently Sony is withholding Last Guardian footage. This is to preserve the game's story, Apparently, development is going well, but because it's all about the story, we don't want to show too much. Shuhei Yoshida told GameSpot. I believe this was at Paris Games Week. The game is currently slated for the 2016. I'm sorry, I just reading ahead. My notes got a little screwed up here. The release is slated for 2016. Apparently, I apologize for this. My notes got really screwed up here. But Driveclub, the new racing game, has just announced that private lobbies are going to be occurring. This is in the game's most recent update. Inside this same update, club level cap has been raised from 50 to 55, and elite driver levels from 76 to 80. And sorry, I'm very flustered right now. There will be a new reward unlock with each level. Sorry about that. And the developer Evolution Games has also announced a motorcycle-themed expansion last week, which is available currently if you are playing Driveclub, and if you are a big fan of Driveclub, and I just butchered that news story, I'm very sorry. Codemasters has announced 4 brand new cars coming to Dirt Rally. Really interested. I'm sorry, not really interested. I haven't been playing Dirt Rally. I totally didn't even know there was a dirt game still being supported. Actually, I guess I am interested because I did enjoy the previous dirt games. I'm gonna end the show today, and I'm sorry. I was thinking this show is gonna be a little more organized than last week, and here at the end, I'm just falling all over myself. But look, I'm going to end this week, obviously, with Fallout 4 coming out next Tuesday. Super excited about this. Probably going to be one of the biggest releases of the year. It's really super interesting to see Fallout 4, especially being announced this year at E3. Really interested, especially because we don't know a whole hell of a lot about it. We know some small things here about this and that. Just really interested to see what this game is. Gonna get my hands on it next Tuesday. But apparently, along with its beer campaign and the Nuka-Cola being sponsored by Jones Soda, Bethesda's also scored, there will be Fallout 4 cars in Forza Motorsport 6, and along with this, there's apparently for iOS and Android a Fallout emoji keyboard available, if you're interested in that. Apparently, you can also now pre-order Fallout 4 bobbleheads via the Bethesda store website. It's the little Vault Tech boy, the little mascot guy who's always who's been very popular with the Fallout series. Let me see here. Sizes for the bobbleheads will range from 5 to 7 inches and will cost $15 for the smaller ones and $20 for the larger. There's something really interesting that I found out on IGN, is that early production of Fallout 4 actually began with an attempted port of Skyrim for Xbox One. Which the only sad part about reading this, other than the fact that I'm like, wow, this is really interesting, I was really sad. I'm like, why is this port? I kind of want to play Skyrim on next gen. Yeah. Either way, this is apparently, according to Game Informer, the port was to better understand the next gen hardware at the time. This was before the PS4 and Xbox One specs were announced. Really interesting. I cannot get over how excited I am for Fallout 4. The final thing I have here for Fallout 4 is Courtney Taylor, who is the voice of the female protagonist, which, if you hadn't learned yet, that the protagonist for the first time ever in the Fallout franchise will be voiced, and really cool trailer just went up, the launch trailer. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So cool. Well, Courtney Taylor, the voice of the female protagonist, and she also voiced Resident Evil's Ada Wong and Jack from the Mass Effect franchise. Two really good characters. Really interested to see how she's gonna, or if I can speak clearly for once, how her performance is in Fallout 4. But apparently she had recorded around 13,000 lines for the game over the past 2 years, and this is apparently the longest time she has ever spent working on a video game. She did a full interview with IGN. There's some interesting news in there. In this full interview, you can find this interview on IGN.com. That about wraps up everything I have for this week. Please, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter, check out my website. Sometime in the coming week and a half, I'm gonna try and put up a schedule or a list of games that I'm planning on doing for Let's Play series in the upcoming months. Yeah, I think that's about all I have for you guys this week. Please keep playing games, and if you saw this video and think that I'm a babbling idiot, please please check back in next week. I will hope to have my shit together. Have a nice week. I'm AJ Gales. This is the 11th Hour Gaming Channel. I'm out.